Hi all. Right, welcome back. This is Fields of Fire. This is the Normandy campaign, and this is going to be take two, sadly, take two of the Trevieres offensive, mission 1. Yeah, I decided to redo this, and I'll tell you why. It's all Mike's fault, okay? Look, I just couldn't live with it. I couldn't live with putting the Normandy terrain cards as the staging area. So I had to break out my Korea deck. I had to take out the cards. I had to sleeve them. The cards were still in the pack. I had to take them out, sleeve them, and there we go. So it's all Mike's fault, alright? So I just couldn't live with myself. Well, actually, it kind of is Mike's fault as well, and not for that. No, I wouldn't be redoing the mission just for that. But I'm going to redo the mission, and I'm going to do it properly regarding that. I don't think it's a biggie, but however, it's in the rules. It's in the rules, and that's what you say, Grant. You're a rules person. Well, I just found out today, and this is why it is Mike's fault. That I totally blundered, and you know what? I don't think I've noticed this rule every time I played this game. However, I have played with radios as well as I've played with the telephone lines as well as radios. I think the very first time I played it was with telephones, and you've got to put wires in between the cards so that you're connected up, you know, and there's a chance the wires can be cut and whatever. But I've certainly played with a mixture of both. However, Mike, I don't know, maybe he's just, I don't know if he must have played the game because he's talking about this. But he was getting confused at a part, because I moved my HQ out of colour, and one of my platoons was still under cover. They were both on the same card, or they were definitely in line of sight anyway. And so I then used the command from my HQ to activate the first platoon HQ. He was undercover, the HQ was not undercover. Well, and then this all when I looked up the rules, and you know what? I read it when I reread the rule book. I read that rule, and it just went right over the top of my head. Now, look at this beautiful thing. There's my folder I got. Yeah? All 96 pages of the new rule book. How about that? And the printer was it's a new printer. It's maybe not the top-notch printer, but it's came out really well, I think. The colours are maybe a bit, I don't know if that's what they're like in the boot. They're slightly different, maybe not showing the colours off very well, but I'm happy with it. And because I got this folder, it's got 60 pockets, so basically a page on either side. I've got 90, so I've got the full lot of pages in there. So I've set things out. Now I can't zoom out much further than that, but well, I can show you here what I'm going to do. There you go, there's the map. Now, okay, this, as the mission's going, well, second mission, I know I could probably squeeze in here, tighten things up. We only need two more rows of cards going up the top, remember? And I just tighten this up a little bit. Maybe there's a bit plexi still down here. You know, so I could tighten it up. I've got that, I've pushed that over to the side, I pushed everything over that way a little bit. We don't generally need to see that. We never used a pyrotechnic at all. However, that is one thing I'll maybe try and use, and in particular, if it goes like the last mission and I don't end up turning up any enemies, I'll maybe show some of these off and use them, because people maybe not seen how you use them. Now, I'm not going to go through all the setup of this again, unfortunately. So anybody that's maybe trying to learn the game, I don't think it's a great idea to try and learn the game from scratch on one of my videos, but the absolute best way to do it, I think, is what I gave, the info I gave to that Charles, is wait on the Deluxe Edition coming out. If you've got the game, just buy the upgrade kit. If you've not and you fancy the game, buy it. It's a brilliant game. And then it's got a starter mission, and it's apparently, I've not seen any of this obviously because it's none of that's on show yet, but it's got a starter mission and it's got rules to like sort of gradually bring you into the game and whatever. So I'm not going to go through this again. I suppose you could go back and look at the take 1 of this video, part 1, and it might give you some explanation. I've set it up exactly the same. I've just rubbed out things on my mission log and just done everything. Everything's the same. Mission 1, 10 turns. There's all my stuff. Everything's the same. And there's all the pyrotechnics and that. Like I say, we didn't use them. That tells you what they do. CF is Cease Fire, SF is Shift Fire. That's only 2 that I've used. I never used any of them, like I say, in the mission previous. So I dare say there'll be more that we could get into that as time goes on. But that's just basics to start with. So yeah, so I've got that over there. I've got a wee bit of space here, to be honest. There's going to be my cards. Now there, I put that to the side, so that'll track the points, the command points, and we've got I can have the rulebook here. So at least I can do that for now, and I'm not going to show you every time I'm looking at the rules probably, but when there's a bit comes up, we'll go and look at it. Well, what was the bit we were talking about? Yeah, radios. Look how quick I found that. Actually, that would be a good idea. Just to maybe take this page out or reprint it or laminate it, or because if I had that at the side, just look up some, the table of contents. There is an index at the back as well, though, so I suppose, I think the index is like 3 or 4 pages, isn't it? I could print them all out, and then just to find the page, I just found communication, page 27. I would have been over at my computer typing in things and whatever. So where does it tell us about the radios then? Here we are. They're page 29. It's right here. A. Early handheld radios, e.g. SCR 536. Which is exactly what we're using. Okay, SCR 536s. Because of its limited broadcast strength, radios such as the SCR 536 allow radio communication only within line of sight, as if daylight and ignoring smoke. Okay, we understood all that, needed to be in line of sight, yada yada yada. Early handheld radios do not work from undercover markers. Dope. Boom. Right there, and I go, that Mike gave me that one today, and I was like, oh no. I was like, how have I missed that, blundered that? What I'm surprised about, that this was part 6 of the video, of the series that he's pointed this out at. I'd be surprised if I hadn't tried something like that before part 6 and nobody has picked it up, but I could be wrong. It does take a wee while to get the game going. I know part 1 was just a setup, part 2 I wouldn't have been doing much, part 3, but I want to say part 4 or maybe part 5, I sure we would have had something undercover and nobody's pointed out to me. I noticed John Brown made a few comments just there on part 6. Now, I did put a comment in the header, so whether he's read the comment, but he never commented on the radios thing either. It might be because he's seen my comment in the header, because I put it in now saying, look, I forgot about this. I'm sure it's going to be right through the video, and this is the main reason I want to redo it. I had my other stupid mistake about not placing the default cover for the German units when they came on board. I worked my way through that and found out I got away with it, but it still felt shoddy. And then there was a few other things. I was forgetting to open fire, like John Brown made a comment today about, again, I'd forgot about, you've got to react whenever something moves. I think I said this in the last part that I done. Whenever something moves, you've got to react and look at it. Look at, right, what's happening? Something's changed. Look at the map. It's not a lot to look at, and you'll see it right away if you look, but just being lazy, sloppy with it. So, yeah, disappointed in that. Really not happy with the way I've done things. However, I do feel like that playthrough is like freshened a lot of things up for me. And I feel better about going ahead now. Now, there's two or three things that do concern me a little bit. Enemy packages and that. I see that they have made a better job of that in the rules, because that was hard going. Also, PDFs and that, and moving through PDFs and moving in front of PDFs and things like that. There's a few things I'm not sure about there. and I'm assuming, I think they're going to come up. The other one is if you've got two, if you've got a friendly and an enemy on a card, when is it they start shooting at each other? Because when you place a package on a card, it does have to engage with the unit that brought it on the map. If it places a PDF, VOF. If it doesn't do that, it can do other things. But yeah, and I thought that was the case, and it's right in the rules, and that was Martin. And it's not Shania, it's Shonai, and I'm sure it's pronounced much better than that. Yeah, I got a comment on a message sent to me from David. I don't like saying second names anyway. And I've forgotten it. So, sorry, David. Sent me a message saying that he was enjoying my videos and letting me know that Andrew and Shonai are the one and the same person. So I kind of was going down that way thinking it was that way, because it was only the credits for Andrew and Colin on the thing, and then I'm getting Shonai, and then and he linked me the proper pronunciation of the name. I'm sure. I was out with my wife the other day and we were walking the dogs, and I asked her to Google the name, and I want to say is it Town, because it's a Japanese flag. It's like maybe a town in Japan or something. Maybe. And she was. I just said to her, I didn't have my phone with me, so it was something like that. But anyway, I'm not. Maybe are you? Maybe you're from Japan. I don't know, Andrew, but whatever the reason. So I found you out at last. Right. Okay. You're one and the same person. But I suppose we've all got different names, and from our real names. I mean, I think mine's is Grantos. I mean, it's quite similar, I know, but anyway. So totally messed up my communication the whole game, if not the whole game. And it did only start from part 6 that I started mucking about with cover and hiding about. I'm pretty sure between 7 and 12, parts 7 and 12, you're going to see exactly the same stuff. You're going to see certain things undercover, certain things not undercover, and me believing that I can communicate with them. And I want to say that I would have played the game properly before, but it's been that long ago that I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Does it? Let's see the old rule book, just in case. Now, where will that be? Well, it'll be under communication, Grant. That's on page 22 in the old rule book. Networks, radios. Exactly the same wording. Is it? Yeah, it's exactly the same wording in an old rule book, that paragraph about handheld radios. So I would like to say that I did know that and I played it like that, but I'm not 100% sure that I did. Because why did I come and start playing a game? But I will say another thing. I've already said that I'm surprised at the amount of things that I've forgot about this game. It was years ago that I've played it. I haven't played it for years. But, I feel like I'm just a beginner again. It feels like that. And I'm just doing daft things. But that has been a nice wee practice. I want to do this again. And, I'm using the proper cards for the stage. Look, Mike, look. Your point has been proven. Look, there's a church on row 1. There you go. Now, that church might have well been in the staging area in the last playthrough. It might well have been. I should have looked at them. I forgot. I should have looked at them. Yeah, damn. I never thought about that. Right, well, I didn't, and I just chucked them away. Right, so I'm going to do it again. So I've set up the command display. I'm now going to set up the commands over there. Well, everybody's going to have no commands. And then I'm going to set up our company. Probably just the same here. And I think I want to make sure that probably better that the first sergeant's with the COHQ, because he does not have a radio. And I'm going to remember cover in the situation we cover. And that makes cover even worse now to use when you're actually seeing how it works, because you either have to need, well, I either have to have the platoon HQs. I mean, because I couldn't have the COHQ under a cover marker here and the platoon HQ under a cover marker there and been able to communicate with them either, because they're two different cover markers. So it doesn't work under cover. So they either have to be all under the one cover marker, like the COHQ and the platoon HQ under the cover marker, and that way I'm not using the radio at all, I'm just using visual verbal, or I need to leave them out of cover. But we did see the threat later on. Remember I pointed out, I think, well, again, I'm talking about, you might not watch that part now, and you might, I'm going to put a comment in part 1 of the original, just saying, look, I've redone this. I don't want to say this is going to be better, it's going to be more rules error free, and it's going to be, because the last one, it was a bit boring as well, come the end, I was enjoying it, and then it just got a bit dull, didn't it, because we just didn't get any contacts, and it was a bit, So, but just seeing that last error, I thought, no, I'm going to do it again. I was going to set up the next mission, and then Mike stepped in, honestly. Anyway, okay, I'm not knocking you, Mike. I think I talked before about maybe doing this again, because it's easier as well. You've only got the 3 rows, and it should be easier and whatever. So let's get everything final set up, and because that's 16 minutes. Oh, I tell you what though, there was a couple of, where's my phone? There was a couple of rules just to chuck in here while they're on my mind that I was surprised to see. I read a bit more of the rules today when I was at work, and right, hang on. Okay, here it is here. I'm going to just put it in here and I'll talk about it later as well. So, and to be honest, if my situation comes up and I've not heard anything, then I might have to go and ask this question or look for it. Map expansion. And it is, it's this here. Well, let's read it all. Sorry. Unless otherwise stated in the mission book, the placement of enemy forces may cause the map to expand past its original configuration by placing additional terrain cards. Enemies already on the map who move off it do not cause it to extend. Units are simply removed from play. I think that was one of the ones I was thinking. I knew that didn't happen, but I think I was talking about it. But there it tells you there that if they're going to fall back, they're not going to spawn a new card, expand a new card. So they just go away. So it says to expand the map, draw a new terrain card from the deck, place it where needed. If it's a hill card, place it and continue to draw cards to place on top of it until you get a non-hill card to place on the top. If an enemy unit is to be placed at max range and the terrain card allows for line of sight to pass through it, continue to draw terrain cards until max range is reached for the enemy unit, or a terrain card is drawn that blocks line of sight through it. Okay, I've got that. And look at this last sentence. This is where I was like, wow, okay. Keep drawing out to max range if there is a chance that hills could provide line of sight. Right, what I take from that is, and I'm going to leave a comment in my video, I think it's part 8 of the first playthrough, because this is where this kind of clicks. And I think I talked about this earlier in my playthrough, not part 8, it's earlier on. Because I was wondered about this. Because you could draw cards, and so let's just say this is what happens, okay? And let's just say we had a potential contact here, right? Right? And we're resolving this potential contact, and we've got somebody, there's an assault team on there. We've got a potential contact, let's take that away just now. And we're resolving this potential contact, and we find, what was it again? It was the mortar squad. I need to plug my phone in. Enemy ammunition. That's fine. Give me a second. Yeah, so it was this guy, but it doesn't matter who it was. Just somebody that's got very long range, or in this case, even long range would do, right? So this is the guy we're trying to place, and it's going to go left max line of sight, left max line of sight, front left max line of sight, isn't it? So we draw this gully draw, right? Now, that's because there's nothing. This isn't a white border, right? On the corner, that was a bad example. I've got something better than that. There's a farm that's not got any white borders, right? So we draw that farm, and there's no white borders. So if I was to go further, and remember he's got very long range, right? So from there to there is only close range. So he can actually go 2 more cards out. However, if I put another card here, he's not going to have line of sight through that because it's green borders. However, that rule says keep drawing out to max range if there is a chance that hills could provide line of sight. The way I'm reading that, now maybe I've got it wrong, we're going to run out of table space, that we draw again out here because let's say we draw a hill and then we draw something to go on the hill. We can now see across the farm into there. Well, that's kind of bizarre. I'm surprised I found that rule because I asked about this before, about the fact. Let's just say, right? Look at this. I'll give you an example and see what you think of this. Right. So we're doing the same package, right? This is the first card we draw, right? Oh, it's a hill. Okay. And that next card, it's a hill. Next card. Oh my God, it's another hill. Right. Next card, it's a farm. So it's a farm away on top of 3 hills. Do we still draw another card here? Because there is a chance you could draw 4 hills and be able to see over the top of that. That tends to be what that's saying to me. Or am I getting it wrong? Keep drawing out to max range if there is a chance that hills could provide line of sight. It must mean something different to what I'm saying there. Eh? It must do. Because I've always wondered that. I've been in that. In fact, I think in my last playthrough, it was over the other side, and I placed something, and I thought, because we had a double hill here, didn't we? And I placed something, and I thought, can I place something else? And then I thought, well, no, but I thought, well, if I draw 3 hills, I can. So, could it be, however, that you've got to, right? It could be that we do this, right? We'll place and this is only when we're placing it. When we're expanding the map, right? We do that. We've got a very long range unit to select. So we then draw another card, right? Now, if we draw a hill, then yes, he was going to go out here on this Orchard Grove in the hill. However, if we don't, and we just draw an Orchard Grove, then we stop drawing cards, and basically that card, I don't know if you just take it away or just leave it there. I mean, it's clearly not of any use. You can't put the unit on there because you're not going to have line of sight. So, it could just be that it's like that. I mean, there was a chance there that we could draw a hill and be further out. And of course, well, in actual fact here, hang on. Now we have run out of table space. Because he's very long range, we should draw another card away out here because that might be a hill. And be able to see over both of them into the Orchard Grove. Anyway, I'll leave that one out there with you. Maybe I'm reading that wrong and maybe it means something totally different, but that's kind of how I was reading it. What do we have in the old rule book for that? Just in case. No, that's a section that's been completely redone, thankfully. It's actually rule 9 in the old rule book, which is the enemy. It's rule 8 in the new rule book, and it's so much better set out. This was a horrible part in the old rule book, and it looks far better. I'm not finding it. Hang on, here maybe. Oh, hang on. It talks about hull cards here, but I'm not seeing that word in. Anyway, let me know about that one, guys. How is that meant to be? Is it what I'm saying, or is there something different involved? Or whatever. Right, and there was one other thing. Yeah, here it is. Here, enemy ammunition is on page 67. It says, in the same way as friendly units, track enemy ammunition and fire missions on the mission log, or with the markers provided. Well, I prefer doing it on the mission log. And some missions, enemy units will be allocated more ammunition than their transportation capacity, 5.1.6. They will drop any excess ammunition if they're required to move while they are still overloaded. So, I don't know why I'm finding myself wanting to look at the old rulebook here, but I don't think there was a section. Oh, there is. Give me a sec. I don't think that wording's in there. I didn't really fully study it, but we shouldn't be comparing it and looking at old rulebook anyway. But what I'm wondering here, obviously not ours. We had a package with that's a light machine gun. It's a heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun came into play last time. Now on my mission log, that's the rulebook for it. It says that for a heavy machine gun, they get 8 ammo. Okay, so I put 8 on, and it allows over this side. Zoom out a bit. It allows for up to 8 ammo. I'm assuming that's, and we put 1 heavy machine gun, line experience, and then it's got 8 ammo. Well, if we look up this rule here, 5.1.6, I'm sure it's going to say we can carry 6 ammo. That was just so easy getting to see. The rule was there. I just moved the book a little bit, and there we go. Right, well, it's not really that. There's the transport capacity there. So infantry step, a 1 infantry step can carry 6 machine gun ammo. So does that mean with that rule that we just read, which is back here again now, you're going to make a mess of things, enemy ammunition, does that mean that heavy machine gun, if it was to move, it's going to drop 2 ammo because it started with 8? Because I didn't really think about that at all. But I mean, the heavy machine gun is just 1 step. It's just a 1-step infantry unit. So it can only carry 6, not 8. Now, I don't know, I could sit there and fire a couple and then have 6 and then move on, I suppose. And it's possibly likely to just sit there and do that, isn't it? So maybe you're not going to see that. But anyway, I just want to know if I'm getting that right or not, I suppose. It was something that caught my eye and I thought, oh, I didn't really think about that. But anyway, okay, that's that. Right, I'm going to go away and get things set up because I want to get started a little bit and do a little bit. Because I might get some time tomorrow as well to play. So there's the map, as you can see. And a few more hills. We've got hills here in the woods. Hills, a hedgerow bocage, hills, Orchard Grove. Up the last line, there's no, but we did get the church for Mike. I especially drew that out. No, I didn't. I just randomly drew it, and it just happened to be a church. Yeah, well, that's good because that's got now OP observation post. It's got an observation post, so I think it can have an upstairs, downstairs, multi-story. I think it is. I want to say that only 1 step or 1 unit can go in that if it goes up there or something like that. It's a good place to be putting like the heavy machine gun or our artillery observer or maybe the mortar. Maybe I think. Or can they go up under that? Maybe. Well, we'll look into that. Right, I'll get things set up. Right, that's me, got my setup. So the CLHQXO first sergeant there, and then the 3 platoons are there. Obviously, I don't think you get in the Normandy. I think it's for some of the other theatres that you get a 4th platoon. I might be wrong. Maybe there is a 4th platoon in this Normandy campaign as well, but we don't see. I've never used it, so maybe not. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, maybe the book being here a little bit. I'm having to stretch up over that, but I think it's quite good because I'm going to be looking at things here, and if I'm going to sit there and read it, I might as well put the camera on and we'll read it, can look at it together. And I'm not going to go over and over each bit, but maybe for the first time or just if it's something a bit interesting that comes up. Okay, I'll get the map set up. Right, okay, I think that's how I'm going to start now. Any eagle-eyed might see that we've actually got 17 steps on here. My thinking being that I want the possibility of the mortar section in this church spire, if that's allowed. I'm not quite sure. The 50 cal machine gun maybe, or this is the artillery forward observer. So that's why I've got them sort of close, but it does mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 steps here, and you're only allowed 16. However, staging area is fine. I'm pretty sure I read that. There's no stacking limit in the staging area. So the other ones are fine. So, and then second platoon's here. I've got the XO along here with first platoon. And obviously the first sergeant is with the COHQ because he needs to be in visual verbal. He's not got a radio. The XO has. And remember this time, the mortar section does have the radio there. So, not quite sure what that one was all about actually, but we never really put much things to much use that last game. That's part of the reason. Oops, that's part of the reason I might want to do it again. And just with that the final blow was that finding out about the undercover with the radios. So, right, that's that bit set up. So we need potential contacts out there. Right, so that's all the contact markers. C's on this row, A's on that row, and then B's on the last row. Now, we need to place a primary objective, a secondary objective on the last row somewhere, and then the attack position on this row adjacent to at least one of them. So, and we've got these as well, haven't we? Line of departure, not something that maybe concerns too much, right, left, but I suppose it keeps you right. I know that's that one, isn't it? That's that, and then that's the one that advanced. We can't go any further. That's it. So we need to place, like I say, the primary objective, secondary objective, and then the attack position. I don't know. I mean, I suppose that the orchard on top of the hill, maybe. And if we got somebody up there who's got line of sight to there, line of sight to there. You know, I'm just thinking about getting in that church steeple or whatever it is. And then that's on the hill though as well. So I don't know what level up that is. Well, let's go with our primary objective. Yeah, let's go with it here. And then the secondary objective in the woods beside that. And then our attack position, this hedgerow bocage here. That's adjacent to both of them. Okay. I think that's everything set up. So we know what we've got to. Sorry, I know I didn't want to go over all this again, but some people might, I suppose, come and just watch this video because I'm kind of hoping this one's going to be better than the last one in multiple reasons. Hopefully it's not going to be as many errors, and it's hopefully going to be more fun because it was a bit dull. So the offensive mission 10 turns, daylight plus 0, 4 columns by 3 rows. We've got that. Enter from staging area. Yeah. We attempt this mission total of 2 times. Hopefully we're going to do it in once. Right, mission goal is to occupy and clear of enemy forces, which to me still means secure, I think. Occupy and clear of enemy forces, the primary and secondary objectives, and clear rows 1 and 2 of any enemy forces. And then that's what we've to do initially. Place the primary and secondary objectives, any card of your choice in row 3. Place an attack position, any card of your choice in row 2, adjacent to either the primary or secondary objectives. That's what we've got. We've got this attachment, artillery. Never used it. That's the fire support that you can do. There's experience points we can get. So this is what we need to do to get our points. We'll come back to that. I don't want to go heavily into it, I'm afraid. I maybe went more into it in part 1 of the original one. So it's not, to be honest, this isn't meant to really be a rules learning kind of video. It's really just me playing the game, but playing it properly. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought so, would you? Yeah, it was a bit of a mess. I'm not going to say I'm going to do this and I'm not going to make any mistakes at all. But I do feel more confident now. I feel like I'm more up to where I should have been. And it's maybe the usual, I should have had a wee shot myself. Because, to be honest, I noticed all the mistakes myself, apart from the radios, which was kind of big one, but anyway. Right, I think I'm ready to start. Am I? Yeah, I think so. I think we've got everything set up, haven't we? So I wouldn't mind getting a bit of play done. That's 35 minutes. So we'll just get things started. I should be able to move, at least get a couple of turns done maybe. Right, okay, let's get started. Right, that is my laminated sequence of play. Here is the detailed sequence of play. I don't really want to go through it that way, but I think if we just use this and then, I'll just go through this the first time, and then, we'll maybe go in a closer look at some of these as we go on. But I don't want to go over and over things again, really. Okay, so we've got friendly higher HQ event. However, that doesn't happen on turn 1. So we move on. We're not doing defensive missions. We move on. So that was 3.1, 3.2. We move on. 3.3, friendly command phase. If the BN HQ, is he on the map? He is not on the map. If he's not on the map, we activate the CO HQ. Okay? So, there. Yeah, I'm going to have to stretch up. That is a bit annoying. So we've activated our CO HQ. And we're going to draw. Oh, I've not shuffled up the deck, actually. Give me a second. Right, that's me got the deck shuffled up. Right, so we've activated the COHQ, so now moving into COHQ impulse. If activated by BNHQ, draw an action card and give it the modified number of activated commands. Okay, going to do that, and then just to show you, this wee card's okay. I don't like the one with the activity level. It's dodgy. Hopefully they're going to do a new one of that. Command draw modifiers here. HQ or staff is pinned or green, it would get a -1, +1 for veteran, +1 for undercover. If it's got some VS on it, that's bad news. Another one that comes into it, especially at the beginning, which we're going to benefit from, our current activity is no contact. So we got +1 for there, but however, all our HQs are green. Our COXO is green, and the only staff that's different is our first sergeant. He's veteran. So we got +1 -1 because no contact and we are green. And we draw, and we're looking at the big number in the helmet, and we get a 3. So okay, it's not the worst, not the best. So 1, 2, 3. So he's got 3 active commands. The bottom rows for if I want to save them. So, but 3 does mean we could activate all 3 platoons. So let's go and have a look here at what we're going to do. Well, initially you've got these potential contact markers, and the way I've always started doing it is you send some assault teams up into these markers. I want to say that previous playthrough I went for all 4 of them, which is a bit of a gamble. Maybe not quite do that. We've only got 3. I think we should activate all 3 platoons though. Now COHQ, he has a radio. All our HQs have radios, and the COXO has a radio. And actually the mortar section has a radio that we just only recently found out. The Forward Observer has a radio, but that's not like the COHQ can't communicate with him. It's for him to go and call in artillery fire. So he would have to get given an order by somebody else. He could get it from the 2nd Platoon HQ, or he could actually use it for initiative. Now, if the COHQ wanted to give him that order, he's not got a radio, so he would have to be in visual verbal, so he would have to be on the same card as him. But the 2nd Platoon HQ, he's part of the 2nd Platoon HQ, and he could give him that order to do that. But we need something to fire up, don't we? It was just to tell you how it works. So I think I'll activate, and COHQ is in communication with 2nd Platoon, he's in communication with 3rd Platoon. In fact, he's visually verbal with him, and he's in communication and line of sight with them all in the 1st Platoon. So I'm going to activate 1st, 2nd and 3rd Platoon. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, that's all his commands spent. And then we're going to activate 1st, 2nd, and 3rd platoon. How do I get that? Well, I think we'd like to get this as a sort of priority. I think it's even getting to that church. So that is 2nd platoon. So let's go for him first. So we're going to draw a card for 2nd platoon HQ. Remember, he's green, but there's still no contact. Nothing's happened yet. So we're going to draw a card +1, -1. So here we go. He gets the 3 as well. That's okay. 2nd platoon. So he's got 3 commands to play with. So what we're going to do? Right. So yeah, I don't think there's much at sort of surprise things to do the first couple of turns. Now, will I show? I suppose I could. Now, where are these? Here we are. Action menus. So these are the action menus. These are all the things that you can do. These are command and control actions. These are the movement actions. Now, command and control actions are all automatic. You don't need to draw anything, any cards, or do anything. It happens automatically. The movement actions, some of them are auto, some of them are drawing cards. You use the recipient experience for any modifiers, right? And that's important because the next one is rally actions, and you don't use the recipient, you use the originator experience for command draw modifiers. And you can see there's some auto and some card draws there. And then we've got the combat actions, again, well, there's a couple auto ones there as well. And use the recipient again for their command draw modifiers. And there's just a couple left over the page there. Then you've got the pinned and lat limitations, tells you what these can do. These are all important bits to be. You're going to have to look at these. Right. So what I want to do is create an assault team, which is a rally action, and it's detached team. And I know we've done all this before, but just quickly looking at it there again. And yeah, so detached team. It costs me 1 action, command action point. You know, one of the commands. It's automatic. Any HQ or staff can be the originator, the one that carries it out, and then any good order 3 to 4 step squad or 2-step weapons team can be the recipient. And then what it does is reduce the squad or weapons team by a step, place either an assault or fire team into play on the card, transferring the assets to the detached team as desired. 2-step squads may not split into 2 teams with this action. Right, I'm not going to show you that again, or we'll be here forever if I kept going back to that. But anything new, I suppose, quick look at that. Seeing the nice new rulebook as well, it's good. So I'm going to spend 1 action. So I'm moving him down to 2. He had 3, and then I'm going to detach a team from 1, 2 platoon. So I'm going to flip him over to his 2-step side, and I'm going to create an assault team. So he comes on this card, put that cheat there. So we've got an assault team. And then I'm going to spend a 2nd command. So that's down to 1 now. And I'm going to command that assault team to move forward. Well, should we look at that? Why not? I'll put them in there, but I'll have a look. Right, so movement actions. Move to an adjacent card. It costs me 1. It's automatic. Originator and any HQ or staff. Well, it was the 2nd platoon HQ that we used as the originator to give the order to the recipient. Any good order unit. You might say that wasn't a good order unit. That was an assault team. That's a limited action team. There's a wee 1 there. Not marked as exposed. He wasn't marked as exposed. And if we jump down to the wee 1 there, it tells you applies to lat in certain cases 4.2.5. There's 4.2.5 regarding assault teams. You'll see that the movement actions allowed are move to an adjacent card. So we're good. And then quick jump back to here. So we know we're good. The details, move the unit to an adjacent card and mark it as exposed. If there is a cover marker on that card, you may place the unit under that cover marker. Do not mark a unit as exposed if it moves from under a trench, bunker or pillbox cover marker on the first card to under one of those cover markers on the second card or moves between attached buildings on an urban terrain card. Right, we're not doing any of that. So we moved him to the church. That assault team, and we're going to mark him exposed. And that's going to be that. Now, second platoon HQ does have one action left. However, I think we'll just save that one. So he's got one action saved. And yeah. Right, I believe I just stopped the video there again, pressing the button when I was trying to zoom. Hopefully it's just stopped there and we're just continuing. Fingers crossed. So that was the Platoon HQ / CO staff impulse within the activation segment, right? We didn't activate any CO staff. We activated our 3 platoons. We've done all that. We gave them commands, we used commands, we saved commands, etc. So now we move down to the initiative segment. COHQ, if it was not activated before, we'd do it here. It was. Platoon HQs, if they were not activated before, we'd do it here. They were. CO staff, if they were not activated before, we'd do it here. Well, we didn't activate them. So we select a CO staff and give it one command. We've got 2 CO staffs. So that's how they kind of work. So it's slightly different. Sorry, I see this zoomed out there a bit. Frightened to touch that zoom button, that's what I was. So the XO gets one command. You are meant to do these one at a time. I'm not going to do anything with that. Sorry, bump the camera, and I'm going to save that. Then the first sergeant would get one command. I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm going to save that as well. So that is all our there's one more impulse to go. So yeah, so that was the CO staff impulse. And then the final impulse is general initiative impulse. Draw an action card and expend on any units a number of commands equal to the unmodified initiative commands. If it's a single platoon mission, half the number first rounded down. They cannot be saved. And this is unmodified, you'll see. So we can actually draw a 0 here. And we really want a 2 because we want to look for cover here. Well, we really want a 1 because we definitely want to look for cover here. But we'd like to look for cover here as well. So I'm going to draw this, and it's a smaller number. Oh no. Okay, we're off to a good start. So no general initiative. And these guys are both sitting exposed. And that'll be that. Right, has anything changed? The contact level, activity level, no. We've just got a couple of exposed units. They are on potential contact markers. Well, we're going to get to that shortly. Very shortly. That's going to be next, actually. I think we're just going to cycle down these, aren't we? So, on to the other side now. It's pretty much split in two. Well, it's not all the enemy side, but it starts with the enemy activity phase. Again, it's skipped on turn 1. There's no activity checks. There's no enemy on the map. There's nothing to capture, retreat, none of that. AT combat and vehicle movement phase, none of that. Mutual combat, there's no fire missions to update. And then now we're in here. So 3.7.2, potential contact evaluation segment. So for each card with a PC marker and a friendly unit, draw a number of action cards indicated on the potential contact draws chart based on the PC marker and the current activity level. If a card states contact with the enemy has been made, determine the enemy package to use and placement per 8.3. Place any applicable VOF and PDF markers and update the current activity marker before moving on to the next PC marker. Okay, right, so we've got 2 PC markers. And they're both C's, so you would do them in alphabetical order if there's different letters, but they're both C's, so we randomise between the 2. So this is a 1, this is a 2. I'm going to draw a random D2, and then, right, just in case somebody's not watched before, all these, the number above is like the dice that you're rolling, so it's a D2, D3, D4, etc. And the number down below is the result of the roll. So we rolled a D2 and we got a 2 result. That was 1, that was 2. So this is the contact we're going to do first. So now we kind of need the mission briefing booklet, don't we, to have a look at. But I should be able to lay this out as well. This could be quite good. Mission 1, enemy information. Yes. Right, so, whoops. Let's have a look at that. Right, so here we go. Here's all the contacts. If it was an A, a B, a C, that's a C we're doing. And then that's the placement one that you want to look at. And the other stuff in that's not really. This is the counter-attack one that hopefully we don't see. But although I was kind of hoping that wasn't going to happen that last game because it was a bit dull. Anyway, so potential contact C. Right, but well, hang on. We're not at that yet, are we? Sorry, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. But I'll keep my face in here. Now we can use this card for this. It's just the activity level bits are a bit off, to be honest. But the bit above here is fine. That was quite dark in here. But I said that yesterday when I was watching a video. I think it's quite clear when you get. I think it's because of the way the light's shining. So type of PC marker, we're doing a C. That's my battery in trouble already. And our activity level is no contact. So we're going to draw 4 cards. And if we find the word contact on any 4 cards, then clearly we've got contact. So let's go and do that. Right, I'd rather have a place to sort of lay the cards. I'm a bit tight for space now with everything else I'm doing. So I'm drawing 4 cards. Right, that's me got 4 cards. And we're looking for contact. Or we're not looking for contact, if you like. Rally, cover. Oops, want to go? Cover, right, nothing. Oh, don't tell me we're off to that again. Yeah, it was quite incredible that last attempt. Okay, so no cover found. So this is removed. Yeah, it was that one, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a pity. We want the... But of course it was randomly decided, and that was that. So now we've cleared that card. Simple as that. No enemies found or whatever. However, we've got to go for this one now. And the deck's not being shuffled, so there's more chance now drawing a contact. So it's the same, it's a C. We're at no contact. We're going to draw our 4 cards. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's more of a chance. Rally. Nothing. Rally. Come on. Oh my god. Right. Okay. We're doing well. I'm hoping it's going to get a bit more interesting. Well, that's good. That's just cleared the church now as well. Okay. Okay. I thought it was... Right, I didn't even need to show you that potential contact part because we're not getting nothing. Right, well, it can happen. There's obviously not maybe that many with contact because going by that last game, unless somebody stole them all out of my deck. Right, anyway, so there's no contact. So come back, sequence of play. So we've been through that, nothing doing. Pinned recovery segment, there's nothing pinned. There's no combat effects to deal with. Clean up phase. So we can do, just stop the camera yet again, and it's really doing my head on. Yeah, I keep saying I need to get another app, or I need to like work out how to move it about. Because if the zoom was on the other side, it wouldn't be a problem. Or if the record button was on the other side. It's just too close to the zoom button. Yeah, okay. Right, so we would remove pyrotechnic, smoke, illumination, exposed. We've got a couple of them. Moved fire, concentrate fire, booby trap, grenade miss markers. We then evacuate casualties from casualty collection points. None of that happening. Enemies firing at cards without valid targets would shift cease fire. None of that happening. It's not a defensive mission. And then we would adjust VOF, PDF, and activity levels. All we're really going to do there is remove these 2 exposed markers. So it kind of was a really good turn for us. We've got 2 assault teams. One on this church, one in the woods. Okay, they didn't find cover, but they're now not exposed anymore. Our activity level has not changed. That is round 1 over, and we're on to round 2. Simple as that. Now, I don't know how long I've been going now, so thing is I've got 19%. Well, you know what, I'd rather go another turn. Yeah, because then I do need to get something to eat as well, and then I can start charging my phone up. I might be able to come back for another wee bit. Okay, let's go. Let's do another turn. Yeah, let's do it.